We talk about I help statements a lot when we're coaching our clients because you got this elevator pitch of what you say to someone else, but we never talk about the elevator pitch that we say to ourselves.
Welcome to the Be It Till You See It podcast, where we talk about taking messy action, knowing that perfect is boring. I'm Lesley Logan, Pilates instructor and fitness business coach. I've trained thousands of people around the world, and the number one thing I see stopping people from achieving anything is self-doubt. My friends, action brings clarity, and it's the antidote to fear. Each week, my guests will bring bold, executable, intrinsic, and targeted steps that you can use to put yourself first and be it till you see it. It's a practice, not a perfect. Let's get started.
Welcome back to the Be It Till You See It interview recap. Brad here again today with a very special guest of ours who, if you've been listening over the last couple of weeks, she's joined us stepping in for Lesley, Clare Solly. Clare is one of Lesley's. Yeah, welcome back. Clare is one of Lesley's besties. They go way back to just after college. They got a chance to work together and they started a shoe company together. You guys had a blog together when you were living across the country, all the things. I mean, I don't know. I feel like you might have been one of the first people I was introduced to when I ever met Lesley, even though I think you were already in New York at that point.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
So pretty cool. I think it's amazing. So basically, Clare is an actor. She's an author. She's Lesley's slingshot friend from New York City, all the way back in episode 19. And today I have the pleasure of having Clare join me to talk about Mark Collins. We're going to dig into that transformative convo that Lesley had with Mark on our last episode. If you have not yet listened to that, feel free to pause this now, go back and listen to that. And actually, you might want to listen to it twice. It was like nuggets of wisdom, like boom, 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 kept coming. And to the point where I was like, can I just rewind 30 seconds and let him say that again? And rewind 30 seconds. I mean, it was pretty.
I rewound. Get your finger ready. You're on the rewind button.
Well, Clare, tell us about today.
Today is January 23rd, and I'm very excited about this one. It is National Clashing Clothes Day.
I'm so excited. I love that. Hold on. I was just reaching for something that I could clash with. So I'm going to put on my blue and green hat at the same time.
Although, that's complimentary. But yeah, fantastic. Beautiful. I tell everyone, sometimes I dress like a kindergartner because I'm like, I want to wear that shirt and these shoes and those pants and this tutu. And sometimes it works and sometimes it does not. So National Clashing Clothes Day is the fourth Thursday of January every year. Mark it in your calendars, and people are encouraged to dress in head-to-toe clashing clothes. Anything neutral, like a black, a gray, a white, not allowed today.
Yeah, no dice. That's a no-go.
No-go.
Burn it.
Have fun with your clothes. Make people ask questions. Why not? And mix colors, prints, textiles. Be clash-tastic. Go for it.
Clash-tastic. I love it. Well, y'all, why don't you be clash-tastic with us in Cambodia? We're going back in just a few weeks. We'll be there at the end of February. We've got a retreat, but we have another one coming up in October of this year. And I think that we just had an offer that may be coming to a close right now or just closed. But if you hit me up and you say, hey, I just heard this on the pod, can I make sure to get that offer? It's a big offer, okay? It's basically the early bird special, and only the people on the wait list got that offer. If you're not on the wait list and you want to go see what we're talking about here, go to crowsnestretreats.com, crowsnestretreats.com. Check out the dates for October. Go take a quick look and see if that offer is still happening. If it's not, just ping me and I will sort it out for you. But it has to be like right after this episode comes out. If you're listening to this 6 months from now, I can't honor that. So I love you very much. I'm trying to take care of you. Go check it out, crowsnestretreats.com. Lesley and I will take you to our house and our favorite place in the world, Siem Reap, Cambodia. Lesley also has been working super diligently on the flashcards accessories deck, the 6th deck in the series. Get on the waitlist for that. Go to opc.me/flashcard waitlist so that you can get 30% off offer, because only the people on the waitlist get that. Go to opc.me/flashcard waitlist. If you are feeling stuck in your Pilates business, I want you to join me for a free Profitable Pilates Studio Growth Accelerator webinar. Okay, if you're feeling
why would you not hang out with Brad for free?
Yeah, come hang out. Come hang out.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so fun. If you are feeling like, how come I'm not making enough money, or I'm barely making enough money? How come I'm not getting any new clients, but I need new clients? Or I don't know what to do for my social media or my newsletters or any of that kind of stuff. Lesley and I have been able to coach more than 2,500 businesses over the past 7 years, and we've boiled it down to 3 massive secrets that I will be sharing with you for free on this webinar. So go to profit.biz/accelerator. That's profit without the O.biz/accelerator. I'll be doing one really soon. But before we get into this combo that Lesley had with Mark Collins, we had an audience question. And the audience question is Lesley asking Clare directly, do you do a handwritten or do you do a digital calendar? Love, Lesley.
It feels crazy that this question was being asked of me. By day, I daylight as an executive assistant. So my life is a calendar.
Don't tell your boss
and
that's your daylighting.
Yeah. Huh?
I said, don't tell your boss it's only daylighting.
Oh yeah. And I'm in it to win it. I'm here for you always. But yeah, I mean, I work on a calendar. So I am 100% digital, almost to my detriment, because among the many things I do, I run a couple of theater companies. And so it's like there's a theater company calendar and Clare Solly's calendar. And then I have a Bookstagram calendar. Rewind to the last episode recap if you want to talk about Bookstagram.
Oh, yeah.
And then I have like my personal whatever calendar. And every grand once in a while, I catch myself up and I don't cross calendars. But yeah, thank goodness that they all integrate these days. And then I'm good at color coding.
You're right on the money there. The color coding is the secret because we live exactly the same way because I've got my personal calendar, then I have my work calendar, then I have a Brad and Lesley shared personal calendar, then a Brad and Lesley shared work calendar. And then Lesley has her personal calendar and her work calendar, right? And we are sharing 2 of those, but we've got all of it. And that's just our stuff. Then we have all the things that we do with a company. We've got this calendar and that calendar and those, when we brought on our executive assistants, the first thing we had to do was debrief why it's such a crazy calendar thing. But it's a system that works and color coding is the secret. I can visually just identify what's happening in my day generally. That's for the win. But that wasn't the question. Do you do a handwritten calendar?
I have above my desk at home. I have a handwritten calendar.
Okay.
That I put, it's funny. I put anything I have that's fun on. So when I'm at work, I can look up and be like, oh, I'm traveling in 10 days. Or, oh, I have theater tickets next week.
Nice.
So the handwritten calendar is for the fun stuff.
Special occasions.
My home office. Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Both.
Yeah. How about that? Both. I think that's great. Okay. Amazing. Stick around. We'll be right back. We're going to talk about Mark Collins. Okay. Let's talk about Mark Collins. Mark is the founder of Freedom for Life and author of Life Mastery, Living Life by Design, Not by Default. It's a leadership guide that empowers individuals to unlock their true potential with a mission to help people overcome imposter syndrome and align with their authentic selves. Mark offers actionable strategies for mastering thoughts, words, and actions. Inspired by his own transformative journey, he equips clients to live with intentionality. I think that's amazing.
That. Yeah. Such a good word, intentionality. I loved everything you said in this. Again, it's the gift that keeps on giving. I'm going to go listen to it again. Like I'm going to bookmark it and listen to it when I'm feeling, down and out. But I loved that he talked about imposter syndrome and identity sabotage, and that you can't success away imposter syndrome,
right?
Or fear or anxiety or any of those other things that we do. It was one of those, of course, duh, but also like brain explode moments. And he emphasized that success is amazing, but it's a poor substitute for identity. You are not your success. Is what comes from you being you. I love that. Rather than chasing that external validation, he encouraged us to ground ourselves in our authentic selves. And I feel like that's sort of the journey that I'm on right now. So this one rang so true to me. I was so excited that you asked me to recap this one because often I'll listen to them and I'm talking back during the recaps. I'm like, yeah, I totally agree.
That's awesome.
And I'll probably listen to this recap and agree with both of us here.
Yeah, you're like, I agree with that point that I made.
Yeah. And speaking of agreeing, I felt like I was kind of on the edge of my seat when Lesley asked him, is imposter syndrome beneficial? And I was like, and then they spun, and I was like, wait, is it? I'm like, maybe I've been doing this right all along. No.
I was laughing about that.
There's no healthy imposter syndrome, because what imposter syndrome says is I'm not qualified for where I'm at.
Yeah, it's like this own perspective. I used to do this when I was working at the tech company. Y'all have heard me talk about this over the years, that I worked for a tech company, and it was like this crazy chaotic environment. And it was basically survival of the fittest. If you could get along and you could figure out how to get money for your project in this startup house, then you could survive. And I'm good at negotiating stressful situations. And I'm also really good at operational catastrophes when something blows up, because somehow inevitably it blew up all the freaking time there. I could figure out the way through. But the entire time that I was doing this really high wire rope act, the story I was telling myself is, I'm just a musician. I don't even know why I'm here. I would never get paid this if I went and worked somewhere else. So I'm going to stay, even though it wasn't that awesome. There were definitely moments of awesome, but as a whole, it was a challenging experience.
Yeah.
But the story I told myself is, I would never be hired to do this job anywhere else. And this is my opportunity to do it. So I'm just going to do it,
Yeah, I think,
and
I don't
that
know, I feel like
sucks.
we all sort of have a story like that too. That was me when I was in the event planning world. Like, I'm never going to get this experience. I need to be here and dig in and live this life and be this person, live this life for right now, because, it's not.
Yeah. Well, I'm just a theater kid, or I'm a trombone player. Like, what am I
Yeah.
doing running a company?
Yeah.
And so I totally get that. What I also found amazing was his idea about success. He said for one of his clients, success was like relief.
Yeah.
That was like, whoa, is that me? Holy cow. Because you've built this expectation of success, and what does it mean to be successful? And when you close the deal, because for him, it was a real estate guy, and he's like closing a multi-million-dollar deal. And like the next multi-million-dollar deal he does, he felt like he's just lucky to get it again. And that goes really hand in hand with that imposter syndrome. And kind of amazing. One thing that he said that I thought was really interesting was he introduced this concept of life mastery. And he
Yeah.
said, when you live from who you're created to be, when you know who you are, when you live from that, that is the easiest life possible. Okay. And that sounds pretty straightforward, pretty obvious, but that's like pretty profound. He explained that you're created to be operating at your highest level. When you're not doing what you're meant to be doing, then you're not able to operate at your highest level. The reason I know this is because I built websites. I am not a developer. But could I do it? Yeah. But
Yeah.
every
With enough
time
time.
but every time I'd have to go back and relearn what I should have already known. And like, it was just always a push, always a struggle. So like, there's the things of, can you do it? Yes. Should you be doing it? Maybe not. And I think when you're doing can I be doing it? Yes. Should I be doing it? Yes. Now you're living in where you're meant to be,
Yeah.
and that is going to really put you in this position where you can live a life, the easiest life that you're meant to be. Things are going to feel like they're flowing. It's also going to be a lot more fun. We've talked about this a million times if we've ever talked about it, but Strengths Finders, Clifton Strengths now is what they call it. It allows you to identify your strengths. And when you're operating in your strengths, things feel like they flow. They feel more enjoyable. You feel like you're winning. And so when people come into our company, we have them take this quiz. And the reason we do is because it really guides us as a company to know, where is this person going to succeed? And it will help them feel more fulfilled. They're going to be happier doing their job, and they're going to do their job well because it's going to feel innate to them. That's a recipe for success there. He said it contrasts with life management. And this was another interesting thing he mentioned, where he's like, I've done a lot of self-help things. And he said, what it often becomes is this series of rules. It helps me in the change in the moment, but it doesn't help me long term, because then it becomes another rule I have to live my life by long
Yeah.
term. And that doesn't feel like it flows. And so I thought that was really interesting, because he said, that doesn't sound like transformation or freedom. It sounds like exhaustion. And I was like, wow, that's true, because now you're living this regimented life that you have to do because this is what the thing was. So just, again, really fascinating stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I think you, Lesley, and I feel like we have some version of this conversation every time we get together, the good tired versus the bad tired. You're always tired at the end of the day because you've had a day. But if you're doing things that fulfill you, that make you happy, and you're living your authentic life, and you're not sitting in this imposter syndrome, you're not working really hard, you're not pushing against a wall, as opposed to like the bad tired, when you're just exhausted and you're just banging your head against a wall and going in the wrong direction, working in those companies or working in those jobs that you're not right for, you're not fulfilling,
Yep.
or you're sitting in an imposter syndrome and you're continually
Yeah.
trying to reach for success when you're just questioning yourself over and over and over. So I'm going to listen to this podcast again. It was so good.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, stick around. We'll be right back to dig into those be it action items with Mark Collins. All right, welcome back. I said with Mark Collins. I should have said from Mark Collins. Let's get into it. Let's talk about those be it action items. What bold, executable, intrinsic, or targeted action items can we take away from Lesley's convo with Mark? I'll jump right in. He said, hey, start with an I am statement.
It's harder than you think it is.
Yeah, I haven't done this exercise yet, but this is really intriguing to me. An I am statement, who you are apart from your things, who you think you'll become. I used to nerd out on this kind of stuff when I was in my teens because I used to like network as my job. I used to intentionally ask people, what do you do? What
Yeah.
is the first thing that they always say?
You're
Is
their job.
their job.
Yeah.
100% of the time, people would answer with their job when I asked, what do you do? Then the conversation would wind down and then they would ask me, what do you do? And I'd say, I sleep a lot. And they would go, what? Because I wasn't answering with my job. Right. And it was like this mental game that I used to laugh so hard about it because I realized that that is how we define ourselves. And I thought when I was listening to this with Mark, I thought, man, this is so poignant because he says, when you define yourself apart from your things or your job or your work, it's going to help you determine who you are instead of what you do, like who you are versus what you do. Right. And then he
Yeah.
said, once you figure out this I am statement, it becomes your affirmation, right? And you're going to use it to align with who you are. And he said, do the affirmations multiple times a day because life happens multiple times a day. And I thought
Yeah.
that was also funny. That's also true is we have these different moments of, I mean, if I look at my day, I wake up and I have my morning routine that I really enjoy, right? And I do my morning routine and that feels like a whole separate day from then I'm like, all right, now I got to get focused. I'm going to spend 3-4 hours and then I'm going to like eat my lunch. And then hopefully I can get back in the groove and have another 3-4 hours before the rest of the day. Right. So, it is funny how it breaks up into these blocks. He emphasized the more you tell yourself the truth, the more you will see yourself show up as a hero that you're created to be.
Loved that. Loved that. I love that we're rebranding or we're reusing hero because right now there's so many hero movies. We're all kind of relating to that. Like we all kind of put in our cape, the little girl with her arms out and being Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman pose that was big a couple years ago. I love this because hero, even though it's conceptual, it's something we can all tap into. We can all make it real in our lives. We all can be a hero. And that's also something we can strive for. Like being a hero feels like anti-imposter, right? So I love
that's great. That's a great way to connect the dots there. I really like that. The hero is clearly confident and knows what the hell they're doing,
Yeah.
Or they should, right? In the way that we envision a hero. There's the anti-hero who maybe doesn't know what they're doing. But the hero, if you think of Superman, you think of the guy who knows how to solve the problem or, Batman or whatever. So yeah, I love that. I love that.
I also had to laugh a little bit because I knew I was coming on and doing this recap with you. And I know you and Lesley talk about being like one woo, two woo. And I was like, this is like the scientific side of woo.
I knew there's a reason I connected with this guy.
I also loved the identifying moments when you are minimizing who you are or when you're maximizing the issues and challenges that you have in your life. Because we all do that. Like Lesley and I have talked about how we used to feed drama into our lives because we knew how to deal with drama. Or when you actually can do something, but yet there's so many people around you that have done it before you or better than you, but they've paved the way. So what am I doing here? Well, I am my authentic self and I am coming here because I have something to say or I have a unique perspective or I just have joy in whatever this is. So let me share with you my little corner of the world. That spoke to me. And I also loved the affirmations part. I loved the I am statements. It was funny. As soon as I listened to it, I was like, I am. And I went right to job. right to job. And I was like, no, we've worked on this before. And my I am statements are that I'm a creator and I'm a muse because I like to create things. I like to create stories. I like to create plays. I like to create environments where people find joy. And I also am a muse. I like to get together with people and talk through things and look at ideas and talk about books and pick apart things and go, how is this affecting us and how are we putting this out into the world?
I love it. I just decided my I am statement. I'm creative, I am fun, and I am happy.
I love this. I love this because that's both, in his sort of trajectory, it's something you are now and it's something you can do.
Yeah. And also for me, it applies across what I'm passionate about, which is music, and what I do for work, which is run a company. I can be creative in music and be creative in the company, right? I can be fun in music and fun in the company, and I can be happy in music and happy in the company. When I first was talking about it, that kind of had me feeling a little stuck. I like this I am statement. We talk about I help statements a lot when we're coaching our clients because you got this elevator pitch of what you say to someone else, but we never talk about the elevator pitch that we say to ourselves. So I love this.
Yeah, it's so empowering and it can change too. Like it can also point you in different directions.
Yeah, he had another example. I find quality answers for every problem I walk through, or I'm going to align my words and actions with the things I am and the things that I do. So yeah, you could use the I am statement to give yourself instruction, not just speak
100%.
affirmations. So
And align yourself with what you are created to be, like why you're here. And love
that's
it.
right.
Love it.
Yeah,
So
that's
good.
amazing. Awesome. I'm Brad Crowell. Thanks so much for joining us today.
And I'm Lesley Logan. Just kidding. I'm still Clare Solly.
Check out more from Clare and follow her Bookstagram stuff. You can find all that at claresolly.com, ClareSolly.com. We are so grateful that you are here, that you take the time out of your life to listen and enjoy the interviews and then hear us kind of chat about them afterwards. How are you going to use these tips in your life today? I mean, what amazing tips. I want to know, Lesley wants to know. Ping us on IG, send us a DM, or leave a comment on YouTube, or send us a text. And otherwise, we will catch you on the next episode. Be it till you see it.
Bye for now.
That's all I got for this episode of the Be It Till You See It podcast. One thing that would help both myself and future listeners is for you to rate the show and leave a review. And follow or subscribe for free wherever you listen to your podcast. Also, make sure to introduce yourself over at the Be It Pod on Instagram. I would love to know more about you. Share this episode with whoever you think needs to hear it. Help us and others be it till you see it. Have an awesome day.
Be It Till You See It is a production of the Bloom Podcast Network. If you want to leave us a message or a question that we might read on another episode, you can text us at +1 310 905 5534 or send a DM on Instagram at BeItPod.
It's written, filmed, and recorded by your host, Lesley Logan, and me, Brad Crowell.
It is transcribed, produced, and edited by the Epic team at Diseño.co.
Our theme music is by Ali at Apex Production Music, and our branding by designer and artist Gianfranco Cioffi.
Special thanks to Melissa Solomon for creating our visuals.
Also to Angelina Herrico for adding all of our content to our website. And finally, to Meredith Root for keeping us all on point and on time.